Turns out the audio truly is unbalanced, so we're staying at slightly quieter audio now. Woo! Davette, I've told you before that the knights are an unruly bunch. But Mother, they're so much fun to watch! Yes, they also have very pointy swords, one errant swing, and... well, I can see why you don't have eyes, I guess. They are dangerous, Davette. Any person with a sword has the potential to use it on you. But Father says that those knights are supposed to protect me. I've heard many a story where that doesn't happen. That they are. Is their order, but as people, they may not be so good, Davette. Not so good. The king has told you that the knights are meant to use swords to protect you, but you cannot trust them completely. Even though the father said they would keep me safe, sometimes the people we trust are the most deceitful, and a man with a sword has a weapon to use against you no matter what he says. Be wary that he can turn on you. Haven't I told you before that you should not trust people? But the knights, even knights can be treacherous, Davette. Do not trust a man with a sword. He can be dangerous. Let me guess, I can't trust Mother? Yes, Mother, I understand. Try to understand, my sweet. I only want you to be safe. Yes, I understand. At least she didn't say anything about herself at the end. That chapter 3 went quite quickly, didn't it? Are we going out in the middle of the night to go see him? Juran, if you don't come at me like you truly mean to stab me, you'll never land a hit. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It has been about 2 weeks since I saw Karma here in the forest practicing with Garin. I have come here every night since then, though I never stay long as Karma, since I actually have work to do in the mornings. Just be a little quiet, it's fine. Alright, here I come. The two swords clash and Karma laughs as he throws Juran back and taps her lightly on the shoulder with his sword. That makes 4 hits and that one was easy. Is that the best you can do, Juran? I noticed that every time Karma practices with Juran, he's in his Miss Karma disguise. He says it is because of the curse and because he does not want Juran to fall in love with him. Isn't he being over-dramatic? I doubt someone like Juran got to fall in love with Karma. Okay, let's just remember for a second here. Like, it's a curse. It doesn't matter whether Juran does or doesn't. Be subtle and quiet. Garland tells me that you're usually good at that. I am, sir. Then why the exception today? Oh, sir. Darling, it wouldn't happen to be because of the way I'm dressed, would it? Are you still not used to it? Hit the nail on the head, have I? It is not very chivalrous to hurt a lady, of course, but that logic applies to men as well. An enemy is an enemy, Juran. If your enemy is a delicate little... even if your enemy is a delicate little flower like myself, you are not a delicate little flower, despite a flower being in your hair. You are anything but. A delicate flower. Juran, you should hit him on the head for that. But Princess, he is not delicate at all. Juran laughs and I scowl at her. Is she laughing at me? No, she thinks you're joking. Unfortunately, you're a dick and you're not joking. You and Karma seem to get along. I doubt it. Oh, Princess, you wound me. You always say that. You wound me where Juran's blade cannot. Something flashes in Juran's eyes as she readies her sword again. Karma stands ready as Juran rushes at him with her sword. Their swords clash again. I wonder. Karma, your back's open. Karma turns, Juran taps him on the shoulder and laughs out loud. Hey, that's cheating! Although, you should always put distractions in the back of your mind. That's where this is going. I can see it already. I did it! A single hit! It looks like you too have a weakness, Karma. No, it wasn't a weakness. It was a lack of sleep catching up with me. Why did he listen to me? He told the Garland the other day that it was crucial to only listen and watch the most important things. Alright, practice is over for now. I can see Garland coming for his practice. Karma walks into the corner to have a drink. I should probably head back to the tavern soon, but there is something I want to see first. On her way out, Juran gives a solemn nod to Garland. She pauses to say something to him, then looks at me, and noticing my vague curiosity. I was just mentioning what a good swordsman Karma is. I have seen him fight, and Karma is a good swordsman. There's no doubt about it. Is practicing with him really so special? Well, I mean, it depends, right? Is he legendary? Are tales about him talked about through the land? I don't know. He is fast on his feet and quick with his reactions. He's an excellent person to train under, even better than the most of the commanders in the palace. I can second that. Even better than Ross, remember him? The first commander we trained under, the one that punished slow learning with extra exercises. You always had to do more exercises than I did. Something about you being distracted. I was watching the way you swung your sword to make sure you didn't hurt yourself. Oh! The chivalry! Oh! Do you think they may like one another? I need to be, you know, so obviously ridiculous to point out. You've always been overprotective. Well, They both suddenly stopped to look at Karma, who was smiling slyly on the side. Why does he have that look on his face? Well, he recognizes true love when he sees it, doesn't he? Well, that's a sign we can't keep the commander waiting. Garland shakes his head, his expression snapping back into something more serious. Right. The two exchange quick farewells before Juran waves and steps out of the clearing, leaving Garland with Karma. You're in a dress today. Are you two really so opposed to hurting me when I'm in a dress? Or are you worried about ruining it? No. It's just so strange, you move so well, even in a long dress. But yes, Juran did mention almost stepping on it once. Impossible, I am the picture of elegance. Of course, sir. Sure, I guess. I guess it would be her fault if she stood on his dress. Karma shrugs Garland's comment off, the two ready their swords, then get right into practice. Juran has taken over Garland's patrol now, so that Garland can get in some practice time. So Garland, have you told Juran yet? Oh, they do like each other. Oh, what a shocking surprise. No! The conversation that Karma always has with Garland is the real reason I stay behind to watch them practice. I don't understand why Garland answers Karma's question if doing so makes him so depressed. Will you ever say anything to her, Garland? Why don't you just confess to her already? Karma lands an easy hit on Garland, who sighs in response. Whenever Garland thinks about Juran, he gets distracted. I do not understand his feelings at all, but seeing him remain quiet frustrates me. Don't go and tell her. Oh my god. That'd be awful. Juran is talented and poised. I can never be good enough for her. You'll never win a woman's heart if you don't compliment her looks as well, Garland. Well, she's pretty too, beautiful, and then there's me. Aren't they both knights? Haven't they been training together for a long time? I can see why you wouldn't tell her. What's that? Oh yeah, I can see why you wouldn't tell her. Oh my god, you're so ugly. Ugh, how do people even look at you without throwing up? Ugh, bite you in my eyes. No, let's not do that. Well, all you ever do is talk about her. Even Karma says your concentration is lacking because she is always on your mind. So just tell her. If she does not like you back, then that's it. If she doesn't like me back. Confessions are always hard, Princess, very tedious. You're only saying that because you're dramatic about everything. The very nature of love is dramatic, darling. But enough idle chatter, sir. Let us continue our training. I end up staying longer than I intended. By the time I consider returning to the tavern, Garland and Karma are wrapping up for the night. I have a question for Karma, so I wait until Garland leaves before I approach him. You're still here, Princess? Were you seeking out alone time with me, by chance? I have enough of that every day when we run errands. I just have a question for you. You always come to the right person. What can I do for you, Princess Davette? No, you may not borrow my crayons. You ask Garland the same question every time you train, and he always tells you that he cannot confess. I don't know, to put the distraction to one side? To pressure him? I don't know. Karma nods in acknowledgement, but his attention is on his sword. He inspects it carefully before sheathing it. It frustrates me. You're frustrated. That look of his always annoys me. Oh my. It is annoying. Did you want to ask me why he won't confess? Because you're so frustrated? Yes. Oh, I suppose after almost 2 months I do know you a bit better. You do not know anything about me. Okay. How do you want to partner up with someone and then say shit like that? Because it's been a few weeks now since you two have been partnered. Do you understand what I mean? And I do not know anything about Karma either. Confessing isn't easy, dear Davette. Surely you must realize that the possibility of rejection is a significant deterrent. But if you never ask, you never get an answer, and the stress of worrying stays with you and ruins everything. Why are you staring at me? Is that the reason you're so blunt, Princess? Blunt? You are far more blunt than I am. Princess Davette, you truly are amusing. You're as sharp as a knight's blade. I am not amusing. That is a matter of opinion, darling. You are very much amusing to others. He really is insufferable, and yet I still come to him for advice. The scariest part of a confession is the possibility of rejection. Can you imagine loving someone and then finding out they don't feel the same way about you? My thoughts shift to the king, my chest tightens. Princess Davette. Karma reaches out a hand to brush a strand of hair out of my face. I slap it away without realizing. He pulls his hand back with a gentle sigh. My apologies, Princess. No, I cannot imagine. No? Loving someone and finding out they do not feel the same way? I always knew my father never loved me, and my understanding is different from what Karma is referring to. Yes! Your father didn't want to fuck you! There's a completely different thing there. Well, actually, it is the monarchy. You never know. Gotta keep it in-house, if you know what I mean. Don't do that. Besides, I no longer hold any love in my heart for the king. I have already given up hope on him. She's never gonna get better. Right? It is a good thing you haven't experienced a rejected love, Princess. It is one of the worst feelings. Karma asked to be alone, so I returned to the tavern by myself that night. That was a loading screen out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure there didn't need to be a loading screen because this is a Renpai. This is Renpai, right? Yeah, it is Renpai. It's a double check. Yeah, this is Renpai. Why would you... I don't know. I guess that's it trying to say that I'm on her route. His route. I do not know why I agreed to this when nothing changes. Today I am once again out in town with Karma running errands. Since we've been partners, he insists on me coming with him every day. Why do you need a new dress? Because a lady needs all kinds of dresses in her closet. Variety is key when you want to make a good impression. Exactly! You need a tacky dress. Who knows when you might be invited on a boat with a drug dealer? Why would you want to make a good impression on people in a disguise? A disguise is meant to conceal you. It does not exist to be flaunted. I don't know, to exist and make another persona. Who knows? Oh no, darling. I only wear the disguise to stop the curse from working on people. It's not really meant to conceal anything but the fact that I am a man. Being dotted on by a married woman, or by a woman in love with another man, is especially troubling. Is the curse really that powerful? Yes! Karma leads me over to the dress store, and our conversation pauses when he goes to the store owner to give specifications for a new dress. Oh my god, he's custom ordering it! When we leave, Karma suggests going someplace to reward me for all my hard work. You're treating me? Why wouldn't I, darling? You've been helping me for a while now. What is this feeling? Gratitude? Karma does owe me some... Karma does owe me for everything that I've done for him, so why do I feel like this? You know, it'd be much easier for you to just help me carry bags. Oh, there, let's buy one of those cupcakes. Karma cuts through my suggestion easily. Yeah, that was never going to work, but good try, good try. Does he really dislike work so much that he'd rather pay me off for helping him? Karma takes me to a stand showcasing all kinds of cupcakes. There are some with coloured frosting, got there in the end. Others with fancy decorations. Some are especially eye-catching, like bright blue cupcakes decorated with little stars. Anything catch your fancy, ladies? All of them, actually. Alas, I do not think that eating all of them would be good for my diet. What do you think, Princess? We shall share one. I turn back to the cupcakes, which I realise are big enough to share between two people. Am I choosing one for myself, or one that Karma would like? I guess he is treating me, but... Two cupcakes catch my eyes. One has a little tiny creature sitting on top of the frosting. It seems to be a little lizard of sorts, though it is strange. The colours reminds me of Karma's dress. The other cupcake is decorated with little white chocolate pearls. Those pearls are small and somehow cute, but Karma might like the other cupcake. I mean, the pearls one sounds delicious. White chocolate pearl sounds literally amazing, but we are on Karma's route. I'll have that one. The one with the... Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? It is a chameleon! Oh, that's adorable, sir. We'll take one of these. I was thinking he'd like it for the colours, not the chameleon. Whatever that is. It's a little reptile on top. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we? Oh, we're back in this fountain. Great. It's where we first met one another. Sort of. Karma leads me to the middle of a plaza, and the two of us find a table. He walks off to get a fork and a knife before returning and handing me a set. Do we really need a knife and fork to eat a cupcake? Yes! Need a knife and fork to eat most meals. So, before we got your address and you distracted me with cupcakes, we were talking about your curse. Were we? It's not an interesting topic. I was glad that we had gotten off that tangent, to be honest. Why don't you want to talk about it? You have your secrets just as I do, Princess. Well... yeah, that is true. I was going to say it's not the same, but it is the same. But the whole point of pairing up is to help each other with our curses. Princess, you want to help me? Only because it is necessary that I help him so he can help me. I haven't made any progress helping you, though. You said you would provide me opportunities. I'm not very good at that, am I? I'm sorry, Princess. Well, I don't think I've done anything for you either. But Princess, you've been helping me for the last few weeks. Whether or not it is an obligation, you are still good company. I am? I thought I just brought up topics you never wanted to talk about. Good company? No one has ever told me that before. They only chide me for being difficult to speak with. Karma starts cutting the cupcake, his knife sliding through frosting and cake with ease. What an amazing CG. There we go, let's do that properly. Okay, they said it was for 2 people. I'm not wildly sure how much I know that is true. It's fucking tiny, mate. I've definitely never seen such refined manners for a simple dessert. What was your life like before the curse, Princess? That's an even worse moment for the CG. You can't even see the cake. I've no need to tell you any of that. You know, it's not necessary, but I am curious. Why would I be doing a good deed in telling him? I don't think so. How about we trade off fact for fact? You give me a story today and I'll give you one tomorrow. What makes you think that I'm interested in your life? You constantly keep asking about her curse. His curse. Well, you do keep asking me about my curse. Yeah, exactly! Only because we are working on breaking our curses. Okay, then we won't talk about the past or any secrets. We can talk about this cupcake instead. What? Why does he always insist on changing the topic? Because you were being difficult. Karma cuts through the chameleon in half. I noticed that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, while I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are little lizards that can blend into their surroundings. Is he willing to go this far to avoid the subject? No, he's going to talk about his fucking self. When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon. What? I hid a lot to avoid responsibilities. Oftentimes no one could find me, not my father, nor the servants. If he had servants, then that makes him a noble? One day I was out searching for a mythical creature in our garden, and I came upon the chameleon. It was this small... Where the fuck are you living when you're finding a chameleon in the backyard? Jesus! It was this small, silly little lizard. But I'd only found it because I was looking for something fantastic. Wow, my throat suddenly burns. The lizard on the cupcake does not seem that fantastic. My father explained what it was to me, then he started calling me his silly little chameleon. It was ridiculous, but he said I was always very good at hiding, so it suited me. What is it, Princess? It seems like you are still good at hiding. You'll hide behind your disguise and keep many secrets. I suppose that I'm still a chameleon then. I mean, yes, that's what you were likening yourself to. I don't think that nickname makes any sense. Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make a lot of sense to be endearing, Princess. Can we please just get back to the subject at hand? Yes, this cupcake. If you insist on sharing a story for a story, then I will tell you something about me. Oh? You didn't seem like the type you wanted to share. I normally do not see any reason for sharing things about my past, no. Mother once told me that to confide in someone else was a weakness. Jesus! Man, your mother was an evil bitch. But more than that, I was always worried that others would judge me. No one has ever wanted to listen to me. I know enough about others' opinions of me to know that they think I am the one at fault. Always. I wouldn't judge you, Princess. He sort of looks troubled, but it's probably a facade. I mean, I wouldn't judge you for not wanting to say anything to me. I divulge nothing to you, after all. A story for a story, that's the deal, right? I expect you to keep it. Or rather, a fact for a fact. Both the same thing. It is not like I have to tell him everything, just something about myself. I will tell you about my life at the palace. It's not as if it's a secret, though I doubt Karma would understand. Ever since Mother died, the palace has been a cold place. Started off cheery! Ha ha! Come on, cheery story! My mum died! Oh. See, it's a little solemn. Why the surprise? Is it because you see Emmeline and Rod and assume we're all going to be one big happy family? I do have to admit that Princess Emmeline seems quite gentle. Prince Rod is quiet, but he seems like an honourable man. When I saw you and the Princess at the dress store, Princess Emmeline seemed very nice, is she not? Her kindness is fragile at best. She tries far too hard for it to be genuine. Her insistence is irritating. I've never wanted to be friends with her. The king took a second wife after my mother died, as if she never mattered to him. Karma is silent, and I continue to talk, my emotions loosening my tongue. I had meant to stop there, but the words kept coming. The only one who ever showed me any affection in the palace was Mother. The king never paid much attention to me in the first place, but he treats Rod and Emmeline far better than he's ever treated me. Have you not thought that maybe they were trying to be nice to you and you were being a dick back? What was your mother like? All of my fondest memories are of her. She was always with me in the palace, teaching me right from wrong. She taught me how to not show weakness, who to speak with. Who to speak with? Needless conversation is useless. People are often very likely to lead you astray. That was the reason I never saw any reason to speak with the townsfolk. Will you judge me as everyone else does? No, Princess, I'm not judging you. I'm just a little sad. Sad? Why would he be sad? It sounds like you lived an empty life. Oh, you're pitying her. She's not going to take this well. It was not an empty life. It sounds as if your mother separated you from everyone. It wasn't as if the townfolk would have accepted me anyway. Oh, yeah, alright. Mother said that they were not to be trusted. Princess, about your mother. I will not hear you speak ill of Mother. No, I only had a question about your mother. Karma coughs and I pause to stare at him as he clears his throat. What is it? This... Oh, gods. I hear the change immediately. His voice is lower, far lower, and the soft gentleness is gone. Karma puts a hand to his throat and grumbles. Karma's voice is teetering on the edge of sounding unmistakably male. I've always wondered how he's able to change his voice, but I always forget to ask him about it. What happened to your voice? Oh, it's Miss Karma. I turn to see a young market girl approaching us. She looks at Karma adoringly. You've always wanted to speak to her. That makes you a stalker.